The topic of today's presentation is how to create a world-class wellness offering. Because you're all in the spa business, and we all say spa, spa. So what does it really mean to all of you? But just to share with you who I am the founder and CEO of Repechage. I am also the president of Sedesco Section USA since 2005 of Sedesco. Sedesco is a world organization that is empowering women and men globally to be the very best they can be in their craft. So in massage, in nails, makeup, and facials. We also have launched during the pandemic a spa management diploma. So you don't have to be an actually beauty therapist to take the course. So it's a wonderful organization. If you don't know a lot about it, I would be very happy to share with you the information, and you can go on sedesco.com and you can get a lot of wonderful information. So I am an author, and I have written wonderful books, and many of you received those books yesterday. But for those of you who did not, we will have a QR code for you to download electronically the book. And so that will be available to you. I won numerous awards. I've been in business since 1977. I started my own skincare center in Manhattan before there was even a word esthetician in the United States. So there's a very long journey. There's no destination. People always say, what is your destination? It's a journey. Life is a journey. So that makes me uniquely qualified to speak to you about service, about treatments, about what's next. And I hope that I will create an opportunity for you to think differently. Steve Jobs once said, think differently. A good friend of my daughter, Simon Sinek, have said, start with the why. So when you want to write your business plan, think differently and start with the why, and you will never make a mistake. So very simple. This is your business plan, and if you do that, you will be great. One of the great things that I come from Poland. I was born in Poland, and I came to the United States in 1970. But I live in New York City for 52 years. So I consider myself a definite New Yorker. And there is a big sign on the West Side Highway that says, if you have to depart New York, if you're going to leave New York City, you will have to live in America. So I'm staying in Manhattan. So let's go on. What is spa? When you think about it, what is spa? So many different things. There is a Sadie's Pet Spa. There is a leather spa. There is a shoe spa. Actually, that's where I take my shoes to be repaired in Manhattan. There is a car spa, and there is a nail spa. So the word spa has been used in so many different ways to identify so many different businesses. Recently, I had a coffee with a lady who is a spa manager at one of the properties, and she said to me, Lydia, I hate the word spa. I just want to tear it apart. So let's think differently. What does it mean? How can we change it? Is it possible? What does it mean to the consumer? And we will define that as well. Don't you like that picture of a little puppy with glasses and green juice? I did like it. So when I look at the business of the resort hotels especially. And I was one of the first ones to actually start the ice spa with Bernie Bird back in the 80s. And hotels did not have spa facility. And I have worked as a consultant to help to move some of those hotels to the new century, thinking back in the 80s into the 21st century. And looking at many of the loss and profit statements, 90% of the revenue in most of the spas come from massage. Would you agree that? We're going to have a workshop later about that. So 90% of your revenue comes from massage. Very labor-intensive work, and the ROI does not come also from retail, because most of the time, you don't sell anything. You do a massage, you work hard, give all your energy, attention, and then there is no retail sales. That is very important. Every service that you do in your spa, in your resort, in your destination resort, must have a big component that comes from retail. Very important. Otherwise, you're working hard, but not very smart. The other thing is very important is to provide that 360 wellness experience for the client. Okay? The new wealth is health. So if we can give the client the new wealth, which is health, if they are with us for an hour, half a day, or 5 days, it doesn't matter how long. It matters how they feel when they are going to depart. I always said to my team, I had 3 spas in Manhattan, while we value educating our consumers, we always did, every consumer was educated on the purpose, the reason, and the benefits of the service that we were providing. That is great. What that consumer will remember at the end, how you made them feel. That's the most important thing. So how much revenue are you missing out by not engaging other practices in your spa? The wellness industry, by 2025, which is not that far away, will represent 7 trillion, not billion. We no longer billions, we talk now trillions. It's inflation, my dears, don't worry. So it's $7 trillion. And while wellness tourism represents $436 billion, the personal care and beauty industry represents $955 billion. So you are in the right business. Yes, you are in the right business. But you got to do it better. So create and transformation to your wellness center. 65% of spa goers say focus more on the health and than before. Certainly, pandemic has created a new initiative for people to understand and appreciate the touch. Touch is so important, so healing. Nobody was touching. Nobody was shaking hands. We were not kissing. We were not hugging. We're all super paranoid. So imagine you now have the one thing that people were starving for for 2 years. No hugs, no touching, no kissing, nothing. Deprived emotionally. Deprived emotional deprivation really results in intellectual deprivation. Because when we don't have the release of dopamine in our body, what happens? We become depressed. We start not really understanding anything. So, value high-touch service. I think that in the last decade and a half, we have moved on to so much technology that high tech is only as good as your high touch. If the client leaves your spa resort, and many of your spas are in hot, sunny climates, what do you think happens to the skin? Did you ever think about it? Let's do more peels. How deep is the peel? What's the percentage? And then you say, and then let's do some microdermabrasion and microneedling, and let's do a stronger peel. And then they go out into the sunny, lovely climate. And what happens? Hyperpigmentation. So we have to think, go, that every action has a reaction. We have to think, whatever we do, from a knowledge base, from the scientific base, in order to provide that great service. So how do you create the 360 wellness offering? And never, never underestimate the power of one great service. That one great service can make the client return to your resort again and again and again, because they don't have or have not experienced that one great service. And that one great service comes from the minute you greet the client. Ritz-Carlton has their mission. It's ladies and gentlemen taking care of ladies and gentlemen. Very simple sentence, very simple mission statement. But how do you apply it in your everyday work? Unless you really empower people for you, that statement means actually nothing. So Wellness Inside Out, we've been working with a lot of centers that offer infusions. So you might be having a treatment that is dealing with hyperpigmentation, and you're going to have an infusion that mimics the ingredients of the facial treatment. So it's working on the inside out and from the outside in. These services, I have to tell you, were extremely popular back in the 80s. Everyone was going in for the drip. And then they kind of stopped. And now we have a reappearance of the infusions that spas and medicenters are opening. So when I look at one service, whether it is a facial, whether it is a body massage, I don't just look at the mechanics of it. So if you look at the regular facial, what happens? Client comes in, you do skin analysis, you do consultation, you do deep cleanse, you do a massage, you do a mask, that's a facial. But if you take that facial or that massage, it can apply for both, and you kind of create a customized service for that client, then what will happen? The client will feel that the service is provided for them. So what we do when we work with spas, we help them to identify what is that one great service they can own, and it can be their signature treatment that they will offer to their guests. So visualizing. When people come in, they always are stressed out. So we need to really address all of their senses. The sensorial element is a key. So what do they see? Close your eyes, imagine. We have had speakers yesterday bringing you through senses to imagine a particular scent or particular situation. Reiki, high-tech devices, if you have them, they always have to be combined with high touch. Wellness massage, face massage, hands and legs and feet. So if you're doing a facial, don't just start at the décolleté. The client is there for an hour. How about a nice hand massage? How about adding on a foot massage? How about a scalp massage incorporated in that one service? And the same thing goes for the massage, for example. If you're giving a massage, when you flip the client over, what are they doing? What about the face? What about doing a nice little sheet mask, for example? So while you're massaging the front part of the body, there's something going on the face, and there is a cross-marketing. The client begins to be aware of that you also offering skincare and facial treatments. So with the wellness, we've done many treatments, but in particular for one Equinox Spa in Manhattan, their service went from $180 to $550 by incorporating all of these other elements into one great service. Customization, what does it mean to you? How do you, don't just, what I always see very often is people come into a spa and they're handed a menu, right? And I like to shop, so I'm sometimes a shopper at the spa, to just understand what happens with clients when they come in. So they look at the menu, it's like a big book, and they're flipping the pages. At the end, they say, no, I take it, I will think about it, I call you back. So you just have this client that have come in, gave them the menu, they did not book an appointment, and it's bye-bye. Maybe they will call you, maybe they won't call you. But if you do the same thing with a client that has come in, and you actually do a consultation with them, and you really find out what their needs are, and create service for them, what happens? They're staying. So important when we talk about personal care to really offer personal service. Very important. What does also luxury service mean to you? My daughter Sherry, who is here with me, spent her junior year abroad in Japan. And I had a wonderful distributor in Japan since 1981, because it's very, very easy for them to understand seaweed, right? Seaweed, they eat it. So I didn't have a difficult time teaching the importance of seaweed. So Sherry went to Japan, stayed there, went to Sophia University, and I would come and visit with her, also do a little business. And we have experienced such phenomenal rituals. Going to a tea house. Here we put a bag in a cup and we do this and there is a tea. Right? A tea ritual. The way they do it, the way they take a wonderful matcha tea and they blend it and you admire the cup that you're drinking from. You enjoy the moment. It's not fast, it is visual. It is addressing all senses of smell, feel, touch, taste, everything happens. And we have also experienced wonderful omakase, which is basically a chef deciding what you're going to eat. You don't decide, you don't do the menu, you basically leave it up in the hands of the chef. Storyboard, taking each single client and having an attendant to take them through the various different stay the entire experience with you. You bring them to the changing room, to the treatment room, to the restroom, to anywhere they want to go. You choreograph, they stay with you. That's five-star service. My big pet peeve is sheets. I will always tell you that wrinkled sheets mean there will be wrinkles on the face. Okay, it's a very simple thing. You put a wrinkled sheet or you think you took it out of the dryer so it's okay. No, it's not okay. So first impression counts, but I can promise you wrinkled sheets equal wrinkled face. And you don't want the client to get up from your bed with wrinkled face, do you? Right? So engage full senses, sensorial effect, the sound, the touch, the smell, the taste, activate everything. And what is important is to make the client feel well the minute they come in. Smiling faces, I must tell you, is the best accessory your staff can have. If they don't smile, people immediately think maybe they're angry at me. So smile, be always welcoming, and that is the welcoming sign. You're happy to see them. So I want to show you, this is one of the spas I work with in Mexico, that we have created various different rooms and various different services. For those clients that said, I have no time, I want to be on the beach, we created what we call the American room. And it was 3 services done at once, ménage à trois. Okay. Starting body massages with a wonderful foot cleansing therapy. That is very important. I experienced that when I traveled to Thailand early on in the 80s and 90s. I love the fact that when you walk in, they wash your feet. Scrub your feet, wash your feet. It's a whole sensorial experience from the moment the client arrives. While I love to call, some of you call your clients guests, they are really your clients. Guests, you would not charge money, right? You don't invite a guest home and tell them at the end, well, that will be $300 for the dinner you just ate. So while we want to have the visual picture that they are our guests, they are our clients. And remember, you're providing the service for free. So everything you do has to be impeccable, beautiful, impeccable, and real. Jennifer talked about authenticity. I always will tell you that this is one of the most important elements, being authentic. Don't fake it. If you're smiling, let it be real. Life is not Vegas. You don't fake it until you make it, right? So this is my very important message to you. Invest in your team. While throughout the decades in the world, I have seen beautiful spas, Carrara marble and more, gold-plated sinks. But when I ask, what is your budget for training of your staff? They say, oh, well, we rely that on manufacturers. Why? You should have the ability to train your staff that they have the scientific knowledge. If you're doing manual lymphatic drainage massage, do they understand the lymphatic system? Do they understand how it works? Most likely not. So they working, how? They're working blindfolded. So invest in the education. Have a budget. We have a budget for education. That is a key important element. So don't get Carrera marble, maybe just get regular marble, and put that money in your team. Most important investment is in the staff, not in gold-plated sinks. So think about it. And as a director, as an owner, you should really have that in your budget. I always looked at the P&L statements and I never saw a line for training. Doesn't exist. How much money are we going to be spending? Education is a key. And the level of the knowledge of your staff and the investment that you make, but also they have to make, is a key important element for your success and for retaining your staff. Right now, your staff is a revolving door. One comes in, one goes out. One comes in, one goes out. It's a constant revolving door. So as Jennifer have said, and someone have said here in the room, the golden rule, right? Start thinking about the platinum rule. What do they need to grow, to succeed, and to make it? And what are you going to do to help them? Because look, sometimes the people don't want to be helped. They're just comfortable to be in the skin that they are in. So I have sedescosectionusa.com. I'm the president. It's an international organization dedicated to education. And I have also just launched lydiasafarti.com, which is strictly educational website. So go on, there is tons and tons and tons of information. And the key here is, and I've worked in Asia, I've worked in Europe, what is really important is to set the time for consultation before the treatment starts, whether it is massage, pedicure, whatever it is, and then to have a time that you set post-treatment, consultation. What is the client going to do at home? How are they going to be taking care of themselves at home? So it's before, you have during, and you have after. If you apply these three things, I guarantee your business is going to grow by at least 30%. Do you believe in that? Good. So thank you, and we're going to now work.